Good evening, everyone. Well, actually, it's good night, but I'm not going to bed yet. I got this to do. How's everyone's night going? We just watched a crazy ass night, match night wrestling show. Sorry, I'm still blown away by it. A lot happened, a lot to discuss, but as you see the title, that's the focal point of what the fuck just happened. Let's get into this. Victory Road kicks off the night with the triple threat match. Steve Maclin versus TJP versus PD Williams. It was a crazy ass match. Bodies were flying all over the place. Submissions were happening in the most curious of ways. A lot of fun, but in the end, Steve Maclin came out on top like I predicted. I knew it was going to win. I just knew it. Now, this match, for instance, this match wasn't on the cards. I believe this was taped last night because it had Christine in front row, the same spot she was in the main event tonight. So I'm pretty sure this one was taped last night. Wish they could have added a few more surprises in if that was the case, but they didn't. Anyways, Black Taurus versus John Skyler versus Jake Something versus Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel. So it's a scramble match, a 5-way. First off, it was fucking nuts. Everybody was flying around. I couldn't contemplate or write anything down. It was that freaking nuts. You see Laredo flying everywhere. You see Trey Miguel flying all over everywhere. You see Black Taurus flying all over the place. John Skyler and Jake Something are trying to ground them as much as possible. All these crazy luchador flying esque guys just bounced all over the place. It was fantastic. This match was freaking nuts. A lot of first time ever moveset. Jake Something looked incredible, but a prevailing Laredo Kid seeks the victory. Pretty cool to see Laredo Kid get the victory. That was pretty nice, pretty awesome. Up next, Neil Dashwood with The Influence versus Taylor Wilde with Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering. What a fantastic match. A lot of outside antics that got too involved. The ref ejected all four from the impact zone. After that, it was just Taylor and Neil. Then the match got more intense, but in the end, Taylor Wilde gets the win. Crazy-ass match. Fantastic. Up next, Rohit Raju versus Matt Cardona in a no DQ match. Rohit comes to the ring. And then before Matt Cardona's music had hit, Matt Cardona blindsides him on the ramp. But after Shearer just recovers from the shock, he quickly overpowers Matt Cardona, takes him out. Rohit's like, no, I got this. You can go. This is my match now. You can go. So, but then quickly was a slam from Shearer. And after that, Rohit just completely demolished Matt Cardona, going for the neck, putting chairs around his neck, focusing on the neck. It was pretty brutal. The match was beautifully violent. Chairs, ingenious place with chairs. Late in the match, Matt looked triumphant, like he had Rohit dead for rights. But Rohit had a plan. Shearer came back out to the ring and pulled Rohit out of the way. And then Shearer got then Matt Cardona was out in the ring, and he decided to radio silence Shearer onto the ramp, onto the padding, onto the ramp. Shearer's head hitting like that. Brutal. But he kind of hurt his leg in there, so he hobbles back into the ring, and Rohit instantly takes him out with a chair. He goes for the kill shot with a running kick to the head. Instead of going for the victory, instead of going for the pin, he decides to do another put the chair around the neck kind of thing, and then do the whole, hey Jared, stomping thing on it. But then Chelsea Green comes out to the ring to the rescue, and she pump kicks Rohit into the chest, giving Matt Cardona the opening for the radio silence, and Rohit lost that match. It was a fantastic match. Oh, wow. so much happened tonight. Up next, the Bullet Club versus Finjuice. Bullet Club is Chris Bay and Hukaleo. So Bullet Club outsmarted them. That was plain and simple. Like Finjuice barely had any offense in this match. It was mostly Chris Bay and Hukaleo. That's it. And it was a fantastic match. So even though it was that simple and dry, it was a great match. But as I predicted, Bullet Club comes out with the victory. Up next, Moose and Morrissey versus Sammy Callahan and Eddie Edwards. There is stuff in this match that I didn't know how to call this. Earlier in the match, Alicia agreed to come ringside because she didn't trust Sammy Callahan. So during the match, Eddie and Sammy worked cohesive. They were a well-gelled team. They were on the same page. They were on the same level. Morrissey and Moose were on the same level. So it was a really well-balanced match. But later on in the match, Moose or Morrissey took out Callahan. So he was out on the rope. Eddie was in the ring. So Morrissey distracted or something. I don't remember what happened. But what I'm trying to get at is Eddie Edwards and Sammy Callahan were on the outside of the ring. And while that happened, they were Alicia's target. Moose and Morrissey's target was Alicia. And for a while, Alicia slinked back to the ring trying to defend herself from Morrissey. But for a while, I thought Moose was going to knock out Morrissey because in real life, Alicia, Eddie, and Moose are friends, non-kayfabe aside. So I didn't expect Moose to feed Alicia to Morrissey. And you know, like when Randy Orton did that thing with Triple H's wife after SummerSlam, I think it was, where he did this whole scientifically sickening, kinky-ass smile where he enjoyed what he did. Well, Morrissey did the same thing because after Alicia was fed to him, he did the whole power bomb, and Alicia's hurt. Like she's calling referees calling medics. A bunch of refs come to the ring. Moose and Morrissey look unconcerned. They look triumphant for what they did, even though it's just a tiny little girl that you just demolished. But so here's where the part comes tricky. Eddie finally wakes up from being incapacitated, and he realizes his wife is on the mat. He shoves the refs aside and says, "You know what? No, I'm taking her." And he does the whole Superman carry her to the ring. And as he's leaving, Sammy Callahan's coming to, and he apologizes to Sammy Callahan. Like, "Hey, look, I gotta take care of my wife. I'm sorry. This was great, but I'm sorry. I gotta take care of my family." So Sammy Callahan understands. He gets into the ring, and he's now faced with Morrissey and Moose. And what does he do? He fights back. He punches Morrissey in the face. He punches Moose in the face. He chops Moose. He chops Morrissey. But it didn't work. He took a boot to the face and a power bomb and a spear. And my team lost. It was the only match that I predicted that I lost. So I'm still 9-0. 10-9, 10-1. Yeah, 10-1. No, 9-1. 9-1. There was 10 matches tonight. So yeah, that was a very brutal match, and I didn't really know how to call that. Up next, Tasha and Savannah Evans versus Decay. What an awesome match. Tasha Steelz and Savannah stood no chance against a terrifying duo. They played mind games, they played tricks, and they were just a little bit too overpowered. So, like that said, Decay wins their titles back. But they never actually lost them. They were just stolen from them. Up next, the Impact World Tag Team Champions, Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus the Good Brothers. Rich and Willie Swann surprised me for this. They came out to the same music, matching gear, matching tights, on the same level, on the same page. So you first think, oh, they're gonna win tonight. I had the Good Brothers winning, but I was scared for a moment. I was like, oh shit, is Rich Swann and Willie Mack gonna do this? But and later out we found out that even though Rich Swann and Willie Mack gave their all, the Good Brothers outsmarted them and they remain the tag team champions. Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. Up next, the Activision Championship match: Chris Saban versus Josh Alexander. Whew. What a crazy ass match. Oh man, that was fucking awesome. Both bought their A game tonight. Josh Alexander lost his mouth gear, his headgear, and punished his neck, which is recovering a broken neck, and still powered through and got the victory. Absolutely incredible. And at the end of the match, they shared hands, they shared this, but there's something interesting happened that Saban was on the ring rope, and he's like, "No, I'm not done yet." So he comes back in and faces Josh Alexander, and he's like, "Come here," and whispers something to his ear. Now, people are speculating, but I actually agree that he whispered, "Go for option C. You can do it. Go for option C." And then Josh Alexander actually agreed and did the nod head shake thing. Okay. So that was interesting. Up next, the main event: Christian Cage versus Ace Austin. Wow, another banger of a match. That was awesome. Fulton was ejected earlier on in the match. And this is the first time I've ever seen this happen. In the match, he got involved again. Like after Ace Austin was seeing Christian down, Ace Austin pulled the ace out of his sleeve, like the ace up his sleeve, bit it, and apparently that was a signal for Fulton to come back to the ring without the ref's intention of him knowing he's there. So he gets involved again, pulls Christian off when he's about to do a ring apron move, and gets involved. During that happens, Ace Austin tries to take advantage of it and fails. But a lot of the time, Ace Austin looked like he was about to beat Christian Cage. But he didn't. Even though how hard he fought, he still didn't win the match. Sorry, Ace. It's just not your day yet. After the match, Christian Cage is celebrating with the double C's to the crowd and panting and doing his little victory dance and things. And then out comes walking weapon Josh Alexander out to the ring. Now we all know what he's going to do. He's going to do, okay, he's going to talk, he's going to challenge him to a match, but we all knew it was coming. But we didn't think it would be on this night. We thought it would be sometime on the tapings tomorrow, or happening right now. But he comes out to the ring and discusses that he only says 5 words. Bound for Glory, option C. And that was it. That was the end. And then Christian Cage raised his title. Josh Alexander raised his. Impact made it official about 10 minutes afterwards, built up a whole new graphic. I should have used that for the thumbnail, but I didn't. And it's official. Bound for Glory versus Ace. Bound for Glory, the main event. Josh Alexander challenges Christian Cage for the Impact World Championship. Crazy times are ahead of us, guys. Crazy times. Anyways, that's the end of the show. That's the end of my talking, and I'm gonna focus on the comments because there is a few that I read. Yes, there is a few. Yes, there is. Jared, these are all Jared. Hi, Cody. Christian Cage versus Josh Alexander for Impact World Championship. I just said that. Moose and W. Morrissey is gonna pay for what they did to Alicia, more than likely. Rhino kicked out of Violent by Design. I don't know if you would say kicked out, more like banished or some other word. They just made him look deceased. Good Brothers versus Guerrillas of Destiny for Impact Tag Team Championship, possibly. Is Activision Championship going to be vacated at Bound for Glory? Yeah, that means it's probably going to be either a 5-way scramble match or it could be used for the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. I don't know. We're going to have to find out how that's going to play out because as of right now, the match is set. But during these tapings, they could set up a X Division match in some way or some form, but I don't think it's going to be out of action. It is the X Division Championship, and it's pretty much the stable of Impact. Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James at Bound for Glory. Yeah, more than likely. Is that what Chris Saban said to Josh Alexander? I assume so. Saban used option C a few times. That's how he became world champion. So he basically said one of my X Division championship reigns was from option C, and I exercised that to become Impact World Championship. If I do recall correctly, he won the championship from Bully Ray. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. I have to do my research, but I'm pretty sure it was Bully Ray. Eddie Edwards versus Morrissey at Bound for Glory. Been there, done that. They're going to have to find some sort of thing to make that interesting if that's going to happen. Malachi Black versus Sammy Callahan in no rules match. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. But fun idea. Fun, interesting idea. All right, guys. I got to do things before I go to bed. It's 9:08, and I got some things to do. So I will catch you next week on Thursday. I'm actually debating on doing upping my YouTube station to AEW content. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. As of right now, I only plan on doing indie shows I pay for, which are indie shows I actually love, and doing shows that I actually watch and help out as well. But I could use the AEW rub. Not gonna lie, it would be nice to get that viewage, especially from Impact fans that watch AEW and AEW fans that watch Impact. So, and now that there's a borderline friendship between AEW and Impact, I don't feel like a traitor on doing it. Yeah, no traitor here. I'm Impact all the way. Anyways, so that's the end of my night, end of your night, and end of this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Scroll, 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 scroll. Bye.